Hello.
Hello? Hello, Ashley?
Hi. Yes, hey, how's it going?
How's it going? This is Izzy from MMA Jam Live. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Thank you for taking time out of your Friday. I know everybody likes to get busy, do different things on Friday, but thank you for taking time to chat with us here.
Yeah, no problem. I'm actually up here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice. It won't take too long. I know you probably got your plans, so we'll try to get through this. Can you talk a little bit about how you got your start in MMA and what ultimately led you down that road?
I basically followed in my husband's footsteps. I met him about 11 years ago, and he was an amateur at the time fighting. And when we opened up our first gym, I guess about, I want to say 8 years ago now, I kind of got into the kickboxing, and then recently, about 3 years ago, got into jiu-jitsu, and then just decided to fight. And so I've been doing it ever since.
That's amazing. Now, you've had a very successful amateur career. You only lost two fights. Was it predetermined that you would go pro after a certain amount of time, or was it a decision that you made on the spot? Or better yet, have you even made that decision yet?
A lot of people ask me, and I keep coming up with different answers. I'm ready to go pro. I don't get to fight as often as I would like, so I guess ring rust kind of comes, and I just feel like I need a fight, maybe one more amateur fight, or maybe not. I suffered a couple injuries my last fight, so it's kind of putting me to when I heal up. I think I'm just gonna go pro because I know Invicta has made the announcement and stuff about the cards. So I think once I heal up and I'm ready to go, I think I'll probably more than likely just go straight to Invicta, which is what I want to do anyway. So.
Now,
I learned a lot from this past fight.
Definitely. Now, how are those injuries healing up? Are they severe, or are they just minor injuries? In between, I would say. I dislocated my kneecap in the second round. We kind of just got caught in a scramble, and my leg ended up in front of her. I actually did it to my left knee back in February of 2013, and it took a couple of months to heal up, but I didn't do this one as bad as my first one, so it's healing up nicely. I would probably give that about maybe 4 or 6 more weeks. And I fractured my elbow in the first round. I got caught in an arm bar late in the first round, and I basically just held it out. I wasn't going to tap. So I fractured my elbow, but they said it wasn't that bad. I actually have full movement in it again. I'm almost able to straighten it. So, and then just a couple of sprains in my muscles in my shoulder just from kind of pushing it into her, but that's minor. It kind of hurt at first, but I can totally tell that it's like fading every day. So I think we'll be good in about 6 weeks. So nice. I'm happy to hear that. Now you mentioned that you want to remain active, which is something obviously every fighter wants to do. We've actually had a lot of amateur fighters on here, and even some pro fighters talking about how difficult it is to get some fights, especially someone as successful as you've been. Why do you think it's so hard for you as a fighter to get a fight every now and then?
I really don't know. Around North Carolina, from where I'm from, there's not that many females, so I do have to travel. So that's what makes it not as often, but. I've had a couple fights lined up, and they just fell through, and so basically I'm just at the point where every fight's going to be tough, and so I have to take tough opponents, and which is what I want to do anyway. So I think it's going to be a little harder, but now that I'm in Invicta, it shouldn't be a problem. So I'm just excited about that, and to hopefully be fighting more regular.
Now, speaking of, back in February, word came out that you and 14 others were signed to Invicta. What does it mean to you to be able to make your pro debut when it happens for the promotion?
Yeah, absolutely. I basically campaigned that the whole time. I know that I've done a little bit of research, and a couple of the girls have gotten the same opportunity. So I'm just excited to be in that group. That shows that I'm obviously doing something right in the amateur ranking. So I'm still going to make my pro debut there. I will not make it anywhere else. So I'm just excited about that.
Now, speaking of Invicta, we're eagerly awaiting word on the next Invicta card. Hypothetically speaking, if you were on that card,
who would make an ideal opponent?
Well, the next card I guess would be Invicta 8. I seen where they said maybe late summer, so hopefully if I'm healed up and I'm able to train and the time falls right into place, which probably not. But, I don't know. I would like to maybe go against one of the new signees, just somebody that's a little bit more, maybe another debuter or someone with one or two fights. And then I know that maybe they'll sign more, so maybe, I don't know. I would definitely, I talked about it once, a couple of days after the fight. I would love to get a rematch with JJ. As a pro, I think she's a very tough opponent. I think it was a very challenging and even matchup, and I would really be excited to have that fight again as a pro. And I know it'll happen, so I just can't wait for that time.
Well, it's funny because I was just before the show started, I was telling the our listeners that you guys actually fought, and she's actually our second guest. She's coming on at 7:20. So I told them, hey, I won't be mean and put them on at the same time. That's not something I would But for the record, that probably wasn't going to be a good idea, right?
Oh, I mean, either way. I mean, I'm not a mean person.
Oh boy. Now, word got out not too long ago that the Invicta events, all future Invicta events, will be streaming live on UFC Fight Pass.
How exciting is that?
Oh yeah, as an athlete getting ready to compete at the pinnacle of the sport, what does that deal mean to you? That to be able to have a platform for you to perform in.
I mean, I'm absolutely blown away. I think it's awesome. We come from a really small town. We have a small gym, and we got a lot of talented guys. So I think it's just awesome to be on something that big, and I hope to make it big. I hope to do well in Invicta, and you never know, maybe UFC. I mean, that's a dream come true. I know my husband would love it. So.
Well, it's strange. It's for us, like our fan base here at MMA Jam is they predominantly go towards the women's side of things. So with it becoming so big, and now the UFC Fight Pass being something that's getting bigger, I think it's just a dream match, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I'm super blessed, and I'm in it at the right time.
Definitely. Now, speaking of the ladies, the Ultimate Fighter Season 20 is closing in on us. The show will feature 16 women's strawweights. When you first started training, did you ever imagine that such a light would be shown on professional women's MMA?
I mean, absolutely. It's 2014. I think it was only a matter of time. I think women are awesome, and I mean, you find a lot more talented fights in women. I'm not bashing on men at all. I mean, I've seen some crazy men fights, but women, we just, and I can say it for myself, and we just go out there and we fight for everything. So, and we don't want to lose. So, it's more, women get more fight of the nights than guys, I think. At least in the amateur, from where I'm from.
Yeah, it's definitely time for the men to step their game up, because every time a female fight, it's like, okay, who's battling for second best fight, Now, speaking of your husband, you and him, obviously operate a gym, and you also have children. How do you find the right balance of being a trainer, training yourself, and raising a family? How do you find that balance? We've been fortunate enough, having my kids, and we basically have raised them in the gym, so they honestly don't know any different. They love it. My kids started training at the age of 4, and they're 8 and 9 now. They compete regular in Naga. My youngest son was the first one to get the belt in the entire family, so if that goes to show you how dedicated they are. But, I mean, they love it. So, I mean, it's just something that we've always done, and, I mean, it balances perfect. Now, as far as your children go, if they ever decided that they wanted to compete, whether it be, in combat sports as you do, is that something you would stand behind, or is it something that you kind of want to keep them away from?
No, I mean, I definitely stand behind them. my husband's very strict, and you know, if your whole heart's not in it, then you know you're not going to do it. So as long as my kids are 100% dedicated to it, and you know, just that's really what they want to do, we're definitely behind them 100%. They already talk about running the gym when we're older, so.
well, I'll tell you what, Ashley. You can tell your husband not to worry because I'm pretty sure that your son can submit me already. Like, he can probably submit me easily.
Yeah, my husband said in 3-4 years they're going to be submitting me, and I was like, no, we're not going to be rolling. I was like, I'll never let my kids know that they can submit me.
Yeah.
But my youngest one, I think he does know more than me.
Yeah, I'm probably the only one that is eagerly ready to be embarrassed by a kid. You know, like, it's fine here. You know, you can use me. Now, the sport of MMA is consistently evolving. Where do you see the sport in the next 5 years, and do you think it's gonna be different than what you would hope for?
I mean, absolutely. You're gonna find more women that's gonna step up and you know want to try it out, and they're gonna fall in love with it like a lot of us did. You know, it was never in my path, so I mean, it surprises me every day that I'm doing it and that I love it. But yeah, and I mean, I feel like in 5 years, when you're watching the UFC, it's going to be just as many girls as just as many guys. Maybe all girls and all guys. So I mean, I think it's going to continue to grow. So I don't see any difference.
Now, this is probably a silly question, but like hypothetically speaking, let's say the year is 2100. Okay. That's, you know, a long time from now. I don't want to do the math right now. I'm tired.
I don't want to think about that. That's sad.
The year is 2100. Do you think at that year, if MMA is still around, do you think we'll ever see ladies competing with men at the same time in a fight?
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be awesome? I hope if it does, I hope it's in my time. And I can fight some 115-pound guys because... Dude, that would be awesome. I mean, you never know. Would I vote for it? Yes.
I personally wouldn't want to do that because, I would lose to your son, and I'd probably lose to a girl, too, so it doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant for me. Now, where can we find you on Facebook and or Twitter? We want to get that out there. We want to help promote you. Where can we find you on social media?
On Twitter, you can find me at Greenway Ashley. On Facebook, I just Ashley Greenway, and I have a fan page, Ashley Dollface Greenway. And I have an Instagram, Dollface Ashley.
Wow!
And you can check out my I have a website too, ashleygreenway.com.
I don't know how you keep up with all that stuff because I'm still my calculator for crying out loud.
My husband wonders why I'm on the phone so much. He's like, "Do you ever get off that phone?" I was like, "No." We drove through West Virginia earlier, and for like 3 hours I had no internet, and I was freaking out.
Yeah,
he's like, "You have a problem." I was like, "I do have a problem."
What you got to do is you got to say, hey, look, this is 2014. People care when I'm getting an ice cream on social media. Like
exactly. Exactly. See, I have a new dog, so it's me and my dog on Instagram.
Yeah, people care about that. People really care about that, too. So.
He's a toothless Chihuahua, and his name is T-Rex, so follow me on Instagram so you can check out the latest. I made a video of him today sleeping with his tongue out.
That's awesome. Now, any shout-outs you would like to give? Any sponsors, any training partners, team, anybody at all?
I would like to thank my team, Body Quest MMA, my husband who deals with me being a girl, for all my teammates there who helped me get ready for this last fight and, will be there for me when I come back. And then my sponsors, I'm probably going to forget some people. I'm really sorry. But I would like to thank Van Estes. He does a lot for me out with Carolina MMA. Demachi, Ray Lopez. He's super awesome. Howard Findler, Derek Allen, Fight Chick, Clean Athlete, and then my management, One Dream. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. I don't have it in front of me.
Before we let you go, we have a chat room here that we have, and they love you, by the way. On behalf of everyone in the chat room, they want to thank you, and they absolutely love you to death.
I really appreciate it. And I've said it, I always say it, but it really means a lot to me. When people write me and comment and I know it's funny and it may sound silly, but it really does motivate me, and it keeps me in good spirits. So I really do appreciate it. And for all the people who make fun of my accent.
Oh no, I'm gonna embarrass some people here. Here's one message on the chat room. She's got a great personality and a great accent, so that is completely false, Ashley.
Well, thank you. I know people like it, but it's really embarrassing when I play back the video and I'm like, oh God.
Now we usually, we have this one weird, crazy, offbeat question that one of the chat room guys likes to ask people. Who do you think would win in a fight, gorilla or an alligator?
Probably a gorilla. It just eat the alligator's head off. That's what I would do.
Yeah, he's gonna be very happy. He's team alligator, so yeah, you got that.
Awesome. Maybe a little foot stomp and then.
Ashley, I had a blast. I can't believe this time went by so quickly. Thank you so much for coming on with us, and we definitely have to do this again soon.
Definitely, anytime, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome, and enjoy your night and enjoy your weekend. Take care.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.